Hello, this is Kartal, and I have asked a friend to join me.
Hello everyone, it's Meow here.
And today we will be playing one of my very first Advanced Wars hacks, Fire Emblem Wars. And we have agreed on playing WebRiver in a 2v2 setting against the AI. But we haven't discussed which side to play as.
I think it would be interesting if we were on opposite sides, so maybe you go red, I go yellow.
Alright, that could work.
Because then we have enemies on both sides.
I don't want to spend time on the... Let's just speak.
Oh, I can't hear your mic anymore.
Sorry, So I would rather not spend time on describing what the CEOs do. Let's just pick whoever your favorite is. I will let you choose.
From the original Advance Wars, obviously got different CEO that I'd like to pick, but in Fire Emblem Wars, my personal favorite was always Merlinus.
I remember you using it to cheese most of the maps.
Yeah, he's not a super strong CO, but he's got a fairly low cost power that gives you +1 move, so it's very effective against the AI.
And are the enemies just random? Or would you like to pick them?
You can give them some decently strong COs. So...
Yeah.
Not Sturm.
Try Sturm.
Okay, we'll put one of them as Sturm. Yeah, fun that'll be. And then the second one... Erika works, we'll leave him as Erika.
But I already have Erika.
Oh, you pick Erika too. Okay. Just to make it interesting, Geese then, because there's lots of rivers on this one.
Yeah, he has no penalty for crossing rivers, just like Sturm. So essentially they will be using flying units, while we will be restricted to normal ground units.
Yeah, this will make things interesting.
Weather fog, clear or random?
Because if you pick random, won't Geese make it rain?
Yeah, Geese will make it much more likely to rain.
Yeah, okay, we'll have random then, just to give him his full powers.
Okay, then let's start. And it has been years since I played this.
Same goes for me. I've not done a playthrough of Advance Wars in about, Fire Emblem Wars in about 2 years now. So I might be a bit rusty, but against the AI, I'm sure we'll struggle through and beat it. So I'm not probably going to be able to capture those for this one.
When you do your cheese runs, do you have to practice a lot?
Sometimes. When I was doing my playthrough of FEWars, there was a few maps that I just beat on the first try, but some of the later ones definitely took a few attempts before I could beat them.
Are you prone to make mistakes? Because I am, when I have been playing for a long while.
Yeah, I think the longer you go on in a map, you kind of get exhausted and you make mistakes easily, so if you can beat the map quickly, I find that also helps with consistency.
So I don't know exactly what causes this color glitch, but according to someone it might be due to the compression making an error for the fighter sprite, and as a result something gets overwritten in memory.
Interesting.
I haven't yet tried to fix it.
And it's only a visual bug, so it doesn't matter too much.
It only happens on 4-player maps. So for most of the time while I was testing, I haven't even encountered it. Let's see what the AI is building. The usual 5 infantry, except for Sturm.
And of course he just parks it on his HQ.
Because it has no target and therefore it picks the best terrain. And since the buildings are restricted for the AI but the HQ is not, it picks the HQ.
Lots of juicy properties available in the middle of the map. That is going to stop you from capping that, so you go down and capture that one.
And when I was doing this, I just had the idea of let's just see how advanced wars would work with different units. I didn't have any large scale plans with this. It was merely a test.
Well, for a test, I think you did quite a good job, because I actually quite like the balance in this game.
I had a vague idea of PvP back then. I heard that many people use infantry many people spam infantry, and I wanted to prevent that by introducing hard counters such as this social knight, which can one-shot them like an anti-air. But movement-wise it's like a recon.
Yeah, the social knights are definitely very good at killing infantry, and that stops players from using infantry as walls, which is quite a busted strategy in normal Advanced Wars, considering how the AI loves targeting infantry over anything else. So you did a good job there.
Yeah, if you are going for a 100 score technique, then this will be a nightmare for you. Yellow seems to be at the perfect position to capture everything fast.
Yeah, with this base here, you can just run across and get these properties without too much of a worry. Who should I go for? Probably Sturm. I'll leave east to you for now.
Yeah. When I was watching others play this, a common question or a recurring question was, which unit is the tank of the game? So I will keep it simple and tell you that the fighter is.
Should I get anything else? I'll get another fighter.
And the counter for fighters is the rogue. With this knight and rogue, I wanted to reverse the infantry mech dynamic. The rogue is the faster one, but it is more frail. At the same time, it has 2 shots with a devil sword which can counter X units and other units as well. And as for Erika, she is somewhat like Sammy and Nell mixed together. Because she has luck. And there are only one power in this game, because I wanted to imitate the first Advance Wars game. She grants both luck and movement, which is a deadly combination.
Yeah, when I was doing my playthroughs, there was quite a few maps where I used Erica for her extra capping power. Because you can kind of just throw your infantry on the HQ, and even if they get damaged slightly, you can still make a capture. So she's pretty good, yeah. Not quite as busted as Sammy, but there's definitely potential for some cheats with her as well.
Yeah, from the perspective of a Nell clone, she is stronger due to the movement boost. And as for the rain, it stops horse units on plains and makes crossing rivers harder, but not for geese. I don't know what the AI will be doing with this. Sturm can just fly over everything. So I will keep this around.
Knowing how the AI works, I'm pretty sure that fighter's going to be guarding infantry that are trying to capture, so it's probably going to go up and to the right, maybe. Yep.
Yeah, since this is not a war room run, we can take our time. It's not a time attack. So we don't need to play as recklessly.
Right, so you can make your way over the river. You follow him. Archer. I still want over here. You can go that way. We'll
overall, I wanted
archer of
to
my own.
discourage unit spam. That is why there's a large variety of ground units. You can try anything you want.
Yeah, the infantry units being 1,500 also helps prevent that, since you can't just spam them out as soon as the map starts.
This will be going for this one. I will try to get this property as well.
Okay, I'll leave that for you. Right, so he's trying to make a move for my base down on the right. He's only really got a hunter here, so I'm not too scared of him. Counter for that. Over here, you've got the rogue. We'll just get 2 fighters then. Don't cap that because that's safe. And then you... We're going to go and cap that, so you can just sit here.
Now armor
No,
knights...
your HQ is under threat.
Sorry. So armor knights are like the medium tanks, but they aren't as powerful. But defense-wise, they are medium tanks and don't have much movement. They can't cross rivers either. The fighter can hard counter them with this hammer. This is why I bought one. And I will try to get this base from the AI. And Corsairs are slightly weaker than fighters, but they can cross the rivers, and they also act like the entire units of the game. The mage was the most underwhelming unit. So if I was to ever make a sequel to this, I would cut this unit. Is your experience the same?
Yeah, I never really used mages in my playthrough, unless they were pre-deployed, like the final map has a few mages. They're good damage dealers, but they're just slow, because with hunters, they've got good mobility, they can move over rivers and mountains, but mages are just too slow for my liking.
See, I made a mistake already. I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, the fighter, yeah.
Normally they can't reach there, but because it is term, they just fly over everything.
Yeah. Okay, but we've got a turn of snow, so it's been slowed down. And he's moved within range. A fighter.
You have to beware that rogue.
Yeah, I know about the rogue. I want you hitting my Virtual Knight, so we'll attack from here.
I made the Corsairs also effective against the horseback units to make them a bit distinct from fighters. But that's just a few points more damage than the fighter would deal, if I recall correctly.
What to do? A Corsair coming this way. This engagement look like terrible, but I will use Knight first. And then if we bait this Corsair into attacking, capturing Knight, works. And if I get a rogue into the Corsair next turn, you can probably just camp that for now. You are not going to be able to move anywhere because it's snowing. But does it start snowing and raining at the end of the turn, or is it the start of the turn?
It's a full cycle, so the weather will change when the player on whose turn it first changed will get the second turn. So it started on your turn, so the next time you are up, it will be clear again.
Okay, that's fine then.
And this also reminds me of one common misconception, the repair mode. Because you damage that rogue, it will repair back to 3 HP and won't be in repair mode as a result. I've seen many players mistake it for repair mode.
Yeah, but it's only at 3 HP, so it's not threatening my fighters really.
It can threaten your indirect unit, but not right now.
Yeah. And then what else should I buy for my main base? I guess another fighter works. Little fighter spam here. I'll save the rest of my money.
Because I messed up, this is likely to die.
Can your healthy infantry start capping? Because then you could bait the AI to attack that instead.
But I don't want to lose the healthy infantry either.
Fair enough.
So I will just bait an attack like this.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I also have to be watchful of this.
Night. Yeah.
I might have overextended a bit, but that's alright. I will repair this one and keep these around to deal with that rogue. I always want to say thief, but I renamed it after the FF8 alternative upgrade to the thief, the rogue.
So when you were designing this hack, is there any specific Fire Emblem game in mind? Because the sprites are from the older games. You've got COs from Fire Emblem 6 mostly, and then some from FE8 as well.
I like both of those games, and FE3 had these sprites which were small enough to fit in Advance Wars. Otherwise I would have used everything from the GBA, but those sprites were too large. I will get both a fighter and a Corsair here. Now Geese's AI won't ever buy fighters because his Corsairs are as strong as a fighter with that 30% increase. And Sturm is just ridiculous as always. I actually liked playing as Geese.
He's alright, yeah. I think I used him once in my playthrough, and that was on a map where it was forced rain, so That was the fastest way to beat the map because it was too slow using cavalry across plains when it was raining. But aside from that one map, I never really used them again.
Yeah, forced weather maps in the war aren't the best because I designed them so you won't be using the CO which benefits from the weather. To be able, I designed those maps to be able to be beaten with the disadvantaged COs as well. And when others play them, they always just pick the CO who benefits from the weather.
You can attack him, but I don't mind that. If I've ever seen one. You've lost your base, Sturm. Thank you for that.
By the way, is it not too difficult to understand me because it has been a while since I've spoken in English?
Yeah, I can understand you just fine.
Okay, just tell me if all the words are muffled because I try to open my mouth larger, or how to say it.
I can understand you fine. Kill this guy off. You will go and capture that.
I did get feedback from some players who tried it in PvP as well, and I was surprised that they enjoyed it.
Use the fighter for that. Yeah, I imagine there's a decent bit of PvP you can do with this hack. It might be a bit of a learning curve with all the new COs and units, but I imagine it's quite fun.
Yeah, I did mess up the tutorial part because it was just an afterthought. So when we played the war room, did you want to also go through those tutorial maps?
I'm fine with leaving them out, if it's fine with you.
Okay. I just followed the Advanced Wars 1's design of everything being a puzzle and time limits being too tight.
I think when I was seeing feedback from the original version of this hack, people were saying that there was quite a big difficulty spike in the tutorial. It's the map where the enemy has like a priest. I think it's a capture map as well. And I remember people saying that was the one that stumped them.
Yeah, because at that point I was just like, let's just make normal maps. I didn't want to make a hand-holding tutorial, and in the end I just ended up dropping it and mislabeling what the result was as a tutorial. So that's on me.
It's fine. I think the tutorial does its job. It introduces you to the hack, the new units, and some of the COs. The real interesting part of the hack is the war room. So if the tutorial's not that great, it doesn't matter too much.
So I don't want to damage my Corsair by moving it to the forest. I know that many PvP players just move into better terrain and let the other player trade with them, but I like preserving HP values. I think that's because I am used to pre-deploy the maps. I will try to save up for a hero, which is a big investment While I was playing this hack, this is the unit I bought the least amount of. It's a bit
they're quite
overpriced
expensive. Yeah,
for what it does.
I mean they do counter dragons, which the AI is not very good at dealing with, so that's one good thing they've got going for them.
I will buy a third rogue here and save up. And see, I knew that the AI would be attacking from the planes there. I baited it into indirect range. And while on the subject of indirect units, what do you think about Days of Ruins battleship which acts like a Fire Emblem unit while everything else acts like an Advanced Wars unit?
Well, I think it's a bit weird that it's inconsistent that one indirect unit can move and attack while others can't. But I think battleships kind of need some kind of advantage like that. Because in other games, they are a bit too expensive. But unless they're pre-deployed, you don't really see them being used all that much.
I really dislike what they did with it. Personally, I prefer the Super Famicom Wars version, which can just attack even air units. Maybe it's a bit overpowered, but then again, a restricted naval unit, which is also restricted by being an indirect unit, needs to be strong. Otherwise, you will never buy it.
True.
I might be
because
alone.
It's snowing again. You are going to die, unfortunately. Right. We got you across the river, but no longer.
Storm is amassing a lot of units which can't cross the river.
Yes, I see that. Okay, what I will do is have that go there.
Do you think the hunter is overpowered by being able to cross woods without a penalty? It also has large vision in fog.
Not really, no. I think indirects are hard to be overpowered because they obviously have to stand still to attack. I think in your war room hack where you buffed the battleships to hit air units as well, people were complaining about that, I believe, but I still thought that they were not too overpowered.
Well, it's always a different rule they have to adjust to. I don't just hack levels into Advanced Wars, I change the game mechanics all the time to suit what I feel like at the time and would have fun with. So my hacks always adjust players to adjust to whatever I had in mind.
A bad way of designing games.
Could you repeat it? I didn't hear.
Oh, I just said that that's not a bad way to design games. You'd like them to be played when you play them yourself?
I like experimenting. and before releasing them I test them, you know how extensively. So for that Advanced Wars 1 in 2 mod I will be changing the damage formula of infantry versus mech again. It used to be 35, but that's too little, so I will push it back to 40%. 45 was too much, 35 is too little, so I think 40 would work. Just to give an example of how much thought I put into these.
Yeah, you definitely do quite a bit of fine-tuning with your hacks, I know that for sure, after helping you test some of them. That's a good thing though, it's better than just releasing an untested hack that's barely functional.
Yeah, and it's not a matter of ego for me. I like receiving negative feedback, because then I know what doesn't work. Because there are things that I think they work and I enjoy them, but others find them a bit clunky. And in the development I experienced that many people make this a question of ego. When you point out their mistake, they get offended, and then it's just too immature. And it's something I can never understand. Maybe
Yeah,
I am the only one.
Criticism. Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Maybe I am the only one who always looks for ways to improve. So you have Sturm locked down here. I will move on these.
Also got a few units guarding his bottom flank as well.
What I see is being able to cross rivers kind of saves this map, don't you think?
Definitely, because if you played this in Advanced Wars, only your infantry and mechs would be able to cross the rivers, and that would just be a terrible experience. You'd never get anywhere.
And we are already at the main fight.
You can attack him from there. I'm not quite in position to take his base just yet. There's too many units around that my knight would get killed if it were to capture.
Sturm used to have only 80% defense, but that was too low. Not because of fighting him, but when I unlocked him and tried to beat the first map, I couldn't achieve the 100 technique score because I kept losing units, so I bumped it back to 90%.
And that's guarded by a hunter, so not moving to range of that.
These cheaper units also mean that Sturm will take a lot more time to charge up the meteor.
True, yes, and it's definitely kind of annoying when you're getting through a map and then Sturm suddenly just nukes all of your units, so much welcome change. Right, these guys are weak, so I don't care if they do hit my hunter.
He might attack your fighter with that Corsair.
Yeah, so I'm gonna leave my hunter there then.
I think it will be up to a luck roll.
Hmm. I'll just leave my position as it is with these units. Because would he not go for this fighter? The 9 HP one?
That's right, I didn't see that one. Yeah, it's
Nice.
damaged and on the worst terrain.
So over here we've got fighters to deal with the armor. Send one more wave of fighters to help, and then I might buy a hero. He's fast becoming the spam fighter show, but they're a good unit, so why not use them?
I will try to go for this base now. And because of my luck, I only need 2 hits. And I will try to bait this one, I think. Yes, because I can't reach it. And if it doesn't rain again or snow again, this will be able to reach for the finisher.
Do you ever leave units on 1 HP so that the AI doesn't build new units of those same type?
Sometimes I do, but sometimes I want to force the AI to replace them, especially the transport units. Because
yeah,
of
it's a
the
situational
build
thing, and as you said, it depends on the type of unit. But sometimes I will intentionally leave enemies with very few units of one type, and then have the ones that they do have on really low HP, especially with like tanks. Then you can just storm the HQ without too much of a worry.
There's
Be
that
building stuff like
first
APCs
war
and artillery.
Sorry, I keep interrupting you.
It's alright.
There's the first war room map versus Eagle. I don't remember what it's called. That weird island connected by the bridges, if you remember. On that map I forced the AI to rebuild the missiles unit.
Oh, I know the one you're on about. Yes, the one that has the island on the top right.
Yes, that one.
Yes.
I didn't calculate the plus movement from the power into this move.
No, I wasn't thinking about his power either, but luckily it didn't do too much damage. Right, now Melanus doesn't really get anything aside from movement boost, is that right?
Movement and resupply.
Yeah. So this is not the best use of his power. But maybe I could use it to hit this hunter? Probably not. Definitely not.
No, the rain is holding you back.
Yeah, so I'm going to save my power then.
And how come you wanted to play this game?
Well, of all the games that we could play together, obviously Advance Wars is one of the ones that we both play and like, and just thought FEWars would be a good example for test run. As I've not played the game in years, I don't believe you did a series on it either, and it's kind of an underrated hack in my opinion. We'll repair both of these fighters.
I was thinking about how to phrase this, but mainly as a ROM hacker, I don't get much feedback because not every people wants to record playing the game, so I get a very minimal feedback, but I understand that that is only just a small proportion of the player base. So a lot more people could be playing this than what I see. And it always comes as sort of a surprise to me that people like my work. I think that's the way I can put it best. Because my main goal isn't to be famous or something similar. I just want to have fun.
Yeah. You don't always need to do things for money or popularity, as long as you enjoy doing it as well.
I enjoy overhauling the
roads.
systems, rebalancing and the like.
Over here, I think it's time to get a hero. Maybe one more knight just in case. You move over here.
Yeah, hero is the flex unit, basically. It's strange that this cursor started here, otherwise, well, usually it remembers where the player left it. Maybe because there are two players, it just doesn't know what to save.
There's usually a setting for that in Fire Emblem games. Is that not present in Advance Wars?
Nope. There's no such
No, it's not.
option.
No. As you said though, the game's mostly made for single player, so I can understand why they didn't include that feature.
Yeah, I majorly overcalculated here or miscalculated here because of the power it is raining again and I can't get this base right now. I'm set back by one turn.
Well, at least you can block it.
And it can cross this, so it might go for this one. Now imagine if all of these foot units could capture. That would be broken.
It would certainly be interesting, but yeah, definitely broken. kind of like War Groove, where loads of different units can capture properties.
It's interesting that we only have 11,000 and 13,000 income, and we can buy most of the units.
Well, we don't have any airports or ports to get dragons or wyverns out, so they're a bit more expensive.
What this needs over here I already replaced. At this point I don't know what to buy, because I think these units are enough to win here, and I can get replacements from here. So I will need to focus on Sturm next. And I can buy an X unit from here or just save up for another hero from this base, and it will be closer. So I just base skip. You lost a lot of units there.
Yep, but we are in a good position to go for its HQ in a second.
Watch out for the meteor.
Yeah, I do need to be careful of that. Okay, we've got a hero over here, so we do have the option of baiting it. If it hits my forces over here, I'm not too concerned, because I'm pretty sure you've got his northern front locked down, so they are in a good position to get rid of geese as well.
The meteor could smash that unit cluster up in the northeast corner though. I will have to break position.
You, and I'll just go for his base instead. Can we get any extra hits with this extra movement?
By the way, this reminds me of Tabitha from the Days of Ruin. She's so ridiculous. She has a pocket meteor as well. I was playing one of those heavily forested maps, and the reason I was able to win without many losses is because I had a meteor. I don't know if you have watched that playthrough I uploaded.
I think I've seen that one, yes, yeah.
That map is horrible.
A lot of the maps in Days of Ruin are horrible, in my opinion. Right, we've cleaned out all those forces. Now we need to bait the meteor.
That sole indirect unit is holding you back.
I have a plan for him.
I usually get rockets here in this situation, so a mage. I noticed that not many players like to buy rocket units.
Yeah, rockets are situational. They're very slow to move around. It's hard to use them correctly, unless you're playing defensively. I will use my power here just so I can hit this guy then. Right, so if the meteor hits here, I'm not too concerned because you've got plenty of units up here to take on geese. Didn't hit over here, I believe. We've spaced our units out fairly well, I'd say. I think it's gonna hit here maybe, or
Center on the HAP, the 8 HP fighter, possibly.
Yeah.
You move that 8 HP knight out of the way. Okay, it's a bit hard to say HP and 8. So either it will cluster here and or pick this one. I think it's only a 2-tile radius, not a 3-tile radius, like a silo. Let's see. I don't have a reason to use my power yet. It even damaged the hero.
Yeah, he's got strong corsairs, that's for sure.
30% is a lot. And I will try to break formation here, just in case the meteor decides to strike me.
Right, let's see where this lands then. Okay, did land over there. Not a big loss.
It's centered on the 8 HP fighter, just as I said.
Ooh, a paladin.
Where was the paladin?
Stern built one.
It's the only counter unit for the hero.
Yeah, he's got one over here.
Yeah.
What do we do against it?
Fighters and
attacking,
paladins are
face.
the tanks of the game, basically. And armor knights can also counter them.
Right, so I can start building units from here now. I get a paladin of my own.
I made those not as effective against each other on purpose. It's like an entire versus entire trade. Or should I have made it 55%?
I think having the standard 55% against units of the same type is probably advisable. Because if you skew it too much the other way, have them dealing more damage or less damage, then it can really mess with first engagements. Because in this game, you want to try and encourage players to actually take the initiative instead of just turtling on strong terrain, like how it is in Famicom Wars and Super Famicom Wars. So I prefer standard 55%.
I think I wanted to discourage the fast social knight unit from first striking each other, and that's why I chose this entire engagement. It also is a bit exotic, and I wanted and I wanted an engagement like that in this hack as well. But I didn't think this through thoroughly. If you could follow that.
Yeah, I did.
I think I will sacrifice this unit here to bait that.
Yeah, we don't need to worry about technique, so we can just sack units to bait the enemy in.
And on the next turn, I will use a power to demolish everything here. And should I drive this away with my infantry?
I mean, if you can bait that away, I would appreciate it. Because you do have some units to counter it as well up there.
I don't have anything to do with this, so I will just park it here. They aren't good against the Paladin because it has magic resistance in Fire Emblem 3, so I copied this.
That's fine. You can do a bit of chip damage to it, and then maybe the hero can take a favourable engagement once it's a bit weakened.
Now let's just hope the weather won't stop me.
Right, so you can go over this way. These have 8 move. Okay. I don't want to do that because then you'll kill my knight, so we'll attack from here instead. You can go there. You can hold these bases. Right, we've got Sturm unlock. Be dead in a few turns. Meanwhile, over here, you're going to destroy most of his forces when you get your power. Although he does have Paladin.
Unfortunately, your hero is damaged.
Yeah, I can't use him yet.
I think with expensive units it's always good to never repair them, just replace them.
Yeah, I will have him go in when he gets to 6 HP, but for now he's a bit too weak. He's draining my funds quite a bit, but I'm Merlin, so I have cheaper units, so not too much of a loss.
Of course. I think I ignored the rain. Only rough terrain. This doesn't clearly say. But anyway, I will use it now. Yeah, these are the affected units. Everything has luck and these 5 also get movement. And this was a mistake.
You could get a nice luck roll with that mage. No, of course not.
I got the luck roll with this one.
That was a good one though, yeah.
That was a lot. And I will just move in. With everything. And this is at the perfect position.
Very nice roll there as well.
Unfortunately, the rain is still preventing me from reaching this with the fighter.
That was a good luck roll.
Good luck rolls are bound to happen when you have 60% luck damage. Well, not percent, but luck rate. And because of the rain, I am not able to load it here. In the end, I wouldn't have been able to reach farther distances either. I think Erika's power is one of the strongest powers.
Yeah, it's quite a good one. The extra luck damage can really turn the tables. It's not very expensive either.
I thought it would be able to destroy that hunter, but not.
Right, over here. You can get up here. I can start tapping his HQ. My HQ as well. Can't let that happen. Yeah, I'll use a mage. First time I ever use one. In 100. Very nice. Yeah, I'm definitely not getting power this turn.
We already won.
Yeah, it doesn't matter at this point. Right, nothing over here threatening my guys at now. Storm's dealt with, and then Geese's base is crumbling as well.
We could
But yeah,
just rout him.
Right, I think all of his bases are blocked as well. Okay, he did move off. But only some rogues, so nothing too scary.
And that is why I've been spamming paladins lately. The sister is the last unit.
Oh, that one, yeah. Oh, I'll go for its HQ then.
And there might be a readability issue with the sisters.
Yeah, you can't really tell which team they're on. I mean, they're not a combat unit, so it doesn't matter too much.
In the next version, they won't be on horses. If you remember that idea, that they will be the supply units and they can also capture.
Right, yeah.
And can be transported by social knights. That was my idea half a year ago.
Go for him. Then I will build bishop because why not? Okay, I can say I've built one. But everything else clear on this side, so there's not much point in moving my units over here anymore. We're already done. Back to you then.
I will just try to block the bases. And this is the last unit, so you will end the game in 2 turns.
Yep, because I will cap here Sturm's HQ and then kill that rogue.
By 2 turns I meant now. Their turns counted.
Yeah. And with a knight.
Mission complete.
And there we have it.
17 turns. Much faster than it would have taken in Advance Wars.
Absolutely, yeah. Having units that can actually cross rivers is a godsend.
Well, I did have
So,
some fun.
Yeah, how do you find the map anyway?
Well, this map can be a fun map to play, even in a war room, I think. Though I will change some things about it.
Yeah, it's definitely not perfect. And with the way that we played on opposite sides of each other. So could turn out differently if you have both players in one corner fighting against two unified forces that the enemy has, because the AI doesn't really play together, so maybe it might play a bit differently if that's how we position ourselves, but we'll leave that for another time.